De mare.
Welcome, 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 family. Peace and blessings for our family tuning in from around the world. Please let us know who you are, where you're tuning in from, where you're from, if that's different than where you're tuning in from, because we all know we are everywhere. So let us know so we can call on you. I am so excited to be bringing this, I don't know even what to call this, but this circle of family, of talent, of blessings. Each and every one of them has been blessed. Before we start, we have Ivelisse with us. It's her birthday, so please show her some love. Please.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Blessings. To choose to spend her birthday with us to share. Today is all about how we communicate resilience as people of African ancestry, because whether the world chooses to acknowledge it or not, we know our very existence is an act of resilience. And we communicate it in every way that we are. And this panel and this day is dedicated specifically to that. So please, family, stay tuned. We have a full day of all the different ways we communicate resilience. We start this day with the beautiful voice of the wonderful, radiant warrior queen, Ivelisse, who will tell us. She's also the queen. She is the queen of Bomba. She'll tell us a bit.
We are queens. We queens. I'm queens with my sisters. We are queens.
Yes.
We are queens. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, world. I'm so excited to be breathing alive today, to be able to share this space, this awesome space with these beautiful faces and the beautiful world. I'm excited to get into dialogue so we know what we're doing. Una cosa bella. And shout out to Chi-Town y la Escuelita Bombera Corazón. I'm going to start you off with this. Si el mayoral me quiere dar, le toco bomba, tierra va a temblar. Si el mayoral me quiere dar, le toco bomba, tierra va a temblar. Si el mayoral me quiere dar, le toco bomba, tierra va a temblar. Candela, candela le damos, si quiere candela, candela le damos. Si llega la guardia, candela le damos, candela, candela le damos. Qué rico, qué rico. And that first song that I sang was from Rest in Peace, one of our mayores, Ricky Soler, and another song originally from Samana. And it's called Candela. And so shout out to Booyah too. I love singing. I love singing. I love singing. And so I just wanted to start with just bringing in some good vibes, more good vibes, because the space is beautiful already. So thank you so much for letting me open that with just singing a bit of tunes. And you know, while I talk, I like to sing too, so I'll be answering while I sing.
Yes! More of that, please. And family, if you can do the same, do the same. Respond however way you can, however way you feel. As we always say here in Africa Week 2020, we are family. This is as informal as it gets, but also as real as it gets. Because we're here to connect. We're here to know each other. We're here to know, in our crazy, and Rami will tell you there's a lot of crazy. And in our timidness, in our quiet, in our loud, in our fire. I don't speak Spanish. I don't understand every word you said, but I felt everything you just did. I felt
Yeah, so when I'm talking about, like, you know, we're talking about in Yemayá, right? We're talking about slaves owning slaves. So it's talking about, if he's gonna come and hit me, I'm gonna make sure that I play that drum and I play and I shake this, and our ancestors will show up, which is that fierce, unspoken language that we use our hands, our souls, our voices, our bodies, hair, you know, to show up in places and time travel. You know, when we're doing traditional, when we're doing music, black music, let's just call it what it is. When we're doing black music, we are time traveling. We are one, and our ancestors is another one. And so we are served. This is what we're living in, a timing within too. We are roots. This is why we feel pain that probably happened 400 or 500 years ago, 600 years ago, still continues to happen in many different ways.
Yeah,
and it's beautiful.
Family, thank you for tuning in. I see the numbers growing. We are on Facebook and on YouTube. Keep your family, keep your comments coming. See what you're doing. I'm losing my words. Okay, how we're going to do these for those of you who are new to Africa Week 2020, we design our panels in a way where each of these beautiful souls are here to tell you who they are, what they do for Africa Rising, what Africa Rising is to them, and how you as a family can help them reach that next step that they're trying to get to. Because this is what this is about. We all know how to do something, and we all wish we knew how to do something, but you know what? Between all of us, we can do it all. So each of you has a truth, has a journey with music. Each of you has inspired me personally. And I'm so grateful. I'll just give Bero and Alexandra this big shout out for connecting me with the wonderful Ivalis to hear her truth along with yours. So we will start with Binta. Tell us who you are. What is Africa Rising to you? And how we can help.
Sure. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings, everyone. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So as she said, my name is Binta. I was born and raised in Chicago. I am first generation Senegalese and Gambian. Ivalis, I believe we met very briefly last year when an artist that I work with, Basso and the Supernaturals, they did a show. I can't remember where the venue was, but we'll connect inshallah after this.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I am first generation Senegalese and Gambian. I live for everything that my parents, strive for, and I'm extremely, extremely grateful to be here. So the way that I fell into music honestly started about almost 2 years ago now. I've always loved music. It's always been something that has brought me joy, that has lifted me up, whenever I was going through times of sorrow and things like that. But I never thought that I was, I guess essentially good enough to sing in front of other people. And that definitely has to do with, societal barriers or anything that we're going through as far as people trying to think for you and not allow you to speak your truth in your own voice. And so slowly but surely, I was, blessed with the ability to be thrown into this path of a singer and a songwriter. So I utilize my music as a way to get closer to my ancestors as well as to my community in Africa, specifically in Senegal and Gambia, since I was born here. And, I'm still learning the language of Wolof. I understand it completely, but I don't speak it as well. And so I'm trying to incorporate that into my everyday life as well as in my music, especially since a lot of times people tend to villainize different spaces in Africa. They tend to utilize our resources and don't give anything back. And so my truth is I want to be able to share the beauty that we have within all of the countries and be able to teach, children and the youth here in America about the truth, about who we are, where we come from, and being able to lift up our skin, our beauty, our resilience, and our thoughts.
Thank you. Yes.
And that's in Chicago. And she's in Chicago. I'm excited.
And the fact that you may have met before, Beto said connections. Yes, yes. And can I just very quickly speak about connections and about what Africa Week has been doing in terms of connections? I don't know if any of you tuned in yesterday for the open mic we had for Black women. I promise you, if you didn't, please make time and go see the promises that we got through that session. But one of the brothers who tuned in and said his piece was a Sudani brother tuning in from Spain, and his piece was about an accident that happened in Merowe in the Nubian territories in the northern state of Sudan, close to where I'm from, on Nubian. And that accident that he was talking about, I lost two of my cousins in that accident. And I have no idea who this person is. I just connected with him, but he's speaking about something that I experienced 2 years ago. And this is, again, affirming that we are all connected and we just need to find one another. And on the topic of language, I'm very, very grateful that you specifically mentioned that and specifically brought up all of Binta. And I think it just makes sense to connect to Rami into his music, because, and later on, if you have time, tune in, because we have a panel called Once Upon Our Language, and it's all about our endangered African languages and how we can revitalize them and the intergenerational effort in revitalizing them. So if you're incorporating Wolof in your song, in your everyday, that is absolutely 1,000% an act of resilience, and we need more of that. And on that, Rami, do you want to tell us a bit about your journey and about how you've been doing that with Nubian, which I'm very grateful for. Rami's also been on the side, him and Mazin, my Nubian teachers with Nubian, the language. And so I'm very grateful to that, and I'll take that and acknowledge and say, I want more.
Absolutely. So my name is Rami Dawood. I'm a hip hop artist / actor / a lot of other things from Kansas City. Right now I'm in the UK. I got married and my wife lives out here, so I've been quarantining for the past, I lost count now, but we've been out here in the UK. It's been a few months now, but hey, I'm blessed. At least we're stuck together, so we're not separated.
Yes.
Different continents, so I'm glad about that. As Dima already mentioned, I am Nubian Sudanese. From a town. Originally, my family is from a place called Wadi Halfa in the far north of Sudan. It is the northernmost city in Sudan, right across the border from Egypt. Back in the 60s, there was a dam that was built and the city flooded. My ancestors were forced out. They were kicked out of their land. Artifacts were flooded, and those that were saved were basically given away to European and American museums. And with that, our language has been deteriorating over time because we don't live in our hub city anymore, right? We're forced to go live in the capital city and elsewhere throughout the country. And over the past few decades, the language has been dying. And one way I've been trying to not exactly even save the language, but just bring up the topic that there is a people that are going through this struggle, that there is a language that's dying, right? Even the topic, people don't even know about this in Sudan. Sudanese people have no idea. A lot of them didn't even know this history. So I do this by incorporating this history and my identity through my music, through hip hop music. And so in my upbringing, there was this struggle about identity struggle. It was like, well, am I Sudanese or am I American? Right? Because I grew up in Kansas City, and it was like I wasn't fully accepted as American because I'm an immigrant. But at the same time, when I went back to Sudan, they called me the American boy. So it was like I'm not 100% accepted neither here or there. And I just came to the conclusion that, you know what, I'm a third culture child, but I'm taking this culture and I'm owning it. This is who I am. I'm accepting this. I'm a child of the struggle. Like nobody chooses to leave their homeland and go be a stranger anywhere. A lot of times we just find ourselves in this condition that because of our parents or whoever may have struggled and they tried to provide a better life for us. So I came to accept that I'm all of these things at once. It's like an onion. You peel me back. There's different layers to me. I don't have to be one or the other. And in the words of Talib Kweli, a flower that grows in the ghetto knows more about survival than the one from Fresh Meadows. So here I am.
Yes.
Funny you say that. I got called an American boy one time, and I'm from the UK.
Yeah.
And the perfect connect. The perfect connect. One of the many, many reasons I am grateful for the Sudan Revolution. For those of you who don't know, we've had a glorious revolution spark in December 2018, and it continues to date. Whatever else you are hearing about our revolution, remember that it continues to date, and it will continue to continue, because revolutions don't stop. One of the reasons I am grateful for this revolution personally is that I got to connect with Black Ram. I got to know a bit about his story, and I think it's so very important to share it. Now, we're talking about continental Africans, diasporan Africans, and continental diasporans. Rami is a Sudanese based in America now. He's stuck in the UK, and we have Black Ram, who is Sudanese in the UK. I don't know if you two are connected yet, but you. So the second half of this panel.
Yeah. So Black Ram,
I came.
We connected through social media, our music and whatnot, right? And he always wears this mask, so and when I first got to know what he actually looked like, and he ended up he showed up to my wedding in December in Sudan. We happened to be in Sudan at the same time. So he came to my wedding without the mask, and he introduced himself, and I'm like, wait, who are you? They're like, oh, you got the mask, okay. So
tell us your truth. Tell us your journey with music. Tell us why you do what you do.
Well, yeah, I had the pleasure of Rami and Ulla inviting me to their wedding. So that was the first time I met him, was at his wedding. So I was really grateful, because no one has like really shown me that kind of appreciation if they haven't known me like that. So yeah, one hell of a guy. Right. So I am from Bath in the UK. It's near a larger city called Bristol.
And near Exeter.
Yeah, it's not too far away from Exeter.
Yeah.
Wait, who do you have in Exeter?
I left a piece of my heart in Exeter. Once an Exonian, always an Exonian.
So I left, me and my mom left Sudan when I was a year old, after the government had executed my father before I was born. So, I mean, yeah, pretty much refugee status. My mom had to start from the scratch, start from the bottom, basically, because it just sort of worried about what my upbringing would be like in Sudan. So the reason my father became a martyr was because he was a part of a movement of 28 officers within the army to liberate Sudan from the Islamist oppressors of 1989, the 1989 coup of Bashir, Turabi, Bakri Hassan Saleh, Nafi Ali Nafi. Some of them were members of the army, some of them were civilians who were Islamists, members of a particular party called the National Congress Party. Were trying to force like Sharia law and cause more division in the country. But yeah, the coup didn't succeed because of a lack of technology at the time. Just lies, betrayal, snitching. And yeah, and another one of the reasons is because the officers took a very pacifist stance. They said no, not one drop of blood would be shed. So if they had perhaps decided to have a more aggressive approach, we may have this coup may have succeeded. We don't know, but that was just their particular stance, their philosophy. Um, so yeah, that's been my motivation to rap about, to tell that story. So they were assassinated. They were arrested and assassinated within like a 24-hour period. And on Al Arabiya, you will see them admitting to it. You see Ali Osman Taha, just basically admitting to everything. Him and Al Bashir, uh, through in these secret tapes, um, basically that have been recorded by somebody, telling, yeah, just basically showing the whole country their crimes and their like, um, yeah, that bullshit that they just have been preaching years and years. So yeah, they were executed by firing squad before I was born, and yeah, they were the ones who survived, or who were mortally wounded, were buried alive. We don't know which um which officers they were. So right now there's an ongoing investigation, and initially when I first released my song The Warrior's Journey, we didn't know where the gravesite was. We now have a better understanding of where it is, and because I think 24 bodies have been, I don't know if they've been pulled out yet, but they're being examined to see if they were the officers. But they just require my DNA now, to identify whether, or all of the family members' DNA to see if those were those same officers. So yeah, and to talk about the mosque, well, the mosque is it's kind of because of the Sudanese community seem to like divulge information and just sort of talk about things and gossip. It's not because I'm worried. Like my family knows I'm doing this rap music, but it's just like I want to disassociate my actual self from my rap. So that's part of the reason. I also had like um, aesthetic choices for certain videos that I wanted to do. Um, and I thought, well, this is probably the best mask because you can see my mouth moving and you can see me speaking, and it's easier for you to sort of um, relate to me than if I was to wear the Black Panther mask. You can't even see that I'm rapping. So I kind of stopped. I'll use it for symbolism, for Pan African symbolism, but I prefer to use this one now, just because you can see me. This mask was actually supposed to just really be used for one song, and that was orchestrating an uprising, because I wanted to sort of create a Phantom of the Opera type feel. Um, and with Malik B's passing from the Roots, I just went back and listened to a lot of Roots songs, and then I realized what the inspiration was for orchestrating an uprising, which was Concerto of the Desperado, by the Roots. And I kind of realized the like similarities. That was like my unconscious sort of uh, inspiration. I thought about it and I was like, oh yeah, that's where I got the idea from. Part of it anyway. So yeah, I have a full EP about the Sudanese revolution. The first song that I'd released was at at the start in like February, um, and then I just that was called Rise in the Struggle, and then I just had it in my idea. It was like now or never. I have to speak about my story before it's like before it sort of it doesn't become irrelevant, but it's just more current with the times. So I just thought I have to get everything out there. I'd been trying to make the songs for a long time, but I wasn't sure about how I was gonna go do that. The correct instrumentals. I had to rewrite one of the verses entirely because I was just like not satisfied with it. Um,
Well, the right time is always
mm,
when it happens. And I was telling Binta this earlier today. It's, you know, Binta was actually meant to be in our launch, in our debut of Africa Week 2020. And with the tech gremlins, and I'm taking accountability here, and family, listen to me while I apologize to Binta live, with the mad tech gremlins attacks on, which continue, by the way. I am now speaking to you from my friend's house because the internet refused to cooperate yesterday. I had to pack my stuff and go to my friend's house and bless the modem and the internet here. But the time when things happen and how they happen, there's a plan, and the planner for all things that happen knows so much better than any of us can possibly imagine. And so we really need to operate. We need to walk this earth knowing full well, knowing like we know what our name is, knowing like we know we are the children of Africa, knowing that this is how it's meant to happen. Because you know, if your song had come out earlier, who knows where it may have led. But it's so amplified the reason, the cause, the purpose of so many of our youth and so many of our martyrs in Sudan who were on the streets. So the time of it and when it came out is exactly right, and I'm so grateful for it. And
it took a year to drop the video because I wanted the correct, appropriate visuals for that scenario.
Drop those links in the comments, all of you. Now, we put some of the links on the Africa Week 2020 page, but because we have so much stuff going on, and we have a brilliant auntie for Africa Week 2020 with all the marketing for the Bámbula event from yesterday, so it might have gotten lost. So please drop those links. Go ahead, Black Ram.
Just a sec.
While he comes back, I would like us to delve into the next talking point of who. First of all, what is Africa Rising to you? And what are some of the challenges that you faced in your journey? Rami said some of the challenges was whether, you know, being accepted or being framed or being labeled or being boxed, because whether we like to admit it or not, we have been conditioned to just like assume however people perceive us. And in so many ways, each of your songs, each of your active participation in the creation of art and music is a rejection of these labels. What caught my attention about Binta is I had never seen a hijabi sister sing with so much life and so much beauty to inspire. But I'm sure there must have been some challenges in you going there, and how do you navigate these labels? So tell us, what is Africa Rising to you, and how you've held on to that as you've navigated your challenges?
Sure. Michelle, thank you so much. You've been so kind with your words. I really appreciate you. You know, man, so I'm gonna try to refrain from speaking too much Arabic. Sometimes it just kind of like pops in and out. So I apologize in advance for anyone that doesn't understand what I'm saying. But so essentially, I want to also give a shout out to my place of work, which is Iman, the Inner City Muslim Action Network here in Chicago. We do some amazing work. I'll also send a link about us there. So there, I'm the arts and culture manager. And to be honest, like my journey to music would not have been if I hadn't been brought on the path to Iman, which I'm extremely grateful for. And so throughout the challenges, to be honest, I haven't had many within this music world. I thought as a hijabi, I probably would. I might have gotten like one or two comments saying like, oh, you know, women in hijab shouldn't be singing and things like that. And, you know, you're kind of showing off your voice that's not hijab, things like that. But to be honest, I have a strong community of people that are, you know, there for me and lifting me up and wanting to see me succeed and do this. And it honestly started at the artist retreat at Iman. So every year we bring together artists from all over, and some of them are on our artist roster, some of them are, you know, spiritual leaders and they are people that literally move with whatever God is telling them. And so I've been blessed to be in spaces where angels are. And so I feel protected whenever I sing. I pray before I sing. And I think that in itself is an act of resilience, and it's an act of resistance as well, because I'm not going with, the status quo of what people think that I should be doing, especially as a dark-skinned hijabi. There's a lot of colorism and racism issues within society in general, as well as within Islam. And so I figured that I would have probably more issues with that, with me being, darker skinned. But to be honest, I'm blessed. Like, I haven't had that many issues. I think really the main issue has honestly come from within myself and not believing in myself enough. And that's honestly, like, if that's all my issue is, that's like a first world problem. So I've been trying to, pray through that, attend, therapy, talk to my friends, trying to find ways to lift myself up and to be able to shed my voice. And the first song that I did share, I literally made a special prayer for, and I got this from India Ari. She made a prayer for this song called I Am Light. And that song, I don't know if you all have heard of it. Please listen to that song. It's such a beautiful song. But so I was listening to her process of creating that song. She said that she wanted it to reach the ears of whomever it was meant to reach, and she wanted it to be able to bless people with a prayer wherever they were. And so I did the same for mine. And, alhamdulillah, all praise to God, it has really lifted a lot of people up, and it has shown the Wolof language in a really beautiful way. And, it has allowed me to deal with my own identity issues. As Rami mentioned, I did also struggle with the dichotomy of being, African and African American or Black in America. And so it's difficult, when you're trying to appease one side of your family, but also adhere to the cultural norms that we have here in America. And so, even the way that I speak, people have issue with that sometimes, but that's who I am, that's who I am. And, it's like, take it or leave it at this point. And so, yeah, alhamdulillah, all praise to God. I'm just really, really grateful that I was called to hijab. I didn't always wear it. I started wearing it in about 2017. And honestly, if I didn't, I don't know if my music would still be the same. I don't know if my songwriting process would still be the same. And so I would just say anybody that is struggling with their identity or struggling with wanting to, lift their own voice, just take time to really listen to yourself, sit in silence, pray, and the path that you're supposed to go on is going to happen for you regardless. And so just have faith that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Sure. Yes. Ivalis, tell us, Queen.
Oh, you guys, thank you for sharing your stories. I'm here getting inspired, getting all this goodness to know your stories and that you guys are still here. And we're sharing space. It's beautiful, to be able to look back and be like, wow, right? Because as teaching artists, as people, part of this revolution, as who we are, as Black and brown, right? We're always working. We're always putting in work. And we never feel like we're doing enough until we look back and we're like, whoa, I didn't even notice that I had, entered a new level. And it's so beautiful. I am Ibelis Diaz. Super excited today. Today I'm turning 33 years old, and I'm super excited to be here celebrating with these badasses. And in Africa Week 2020, how beautiful it is to be people of resistance. Que ni el coronavirus no paró. Because it's either we were going to be in these spaces together or we were going to make it virtually. Look at how beautiful we are and how beautiful we learn and we make it happen. No one can tear us down. And it's so dope. And I'm very humble to be in this place, in this space right now. So I'm Ibelis Diaz. I'm from Chi-Town, born and raised in Chi-Town, in el barrio Boricua called Humboldt Park. So shout out to all my people out there, Humboldt Park. I am a mother. I am a badass woman. I serve my community. I love me some bomba. I'm part of one or two families that is in charge of making all this goodness in Chicago of bomba happen over 40 years ago. And, I was born in this. And it's been a way for me to live in so many different ways. Um, I have a bomba school, right? And bomba is the oldest genre of Puerto Rico, right? It is a way it's music de resistencia, música de resistencia. It's how we show up. It's how we're heard. Obviously, we got so many music, but I'm here talking about bomba, ¿verdad? Not to like have any boundaries or limitation of some beautiful black music that just roots off of all this goodness. Tengo la Escuelita Bombera Corazón, which is my school. I've been running a grassroots school for about 11 years in November. Legit grassroots. Wherever I find space, that's where we at. And I think it was very important to be able to move around con una escuelita because I love to teach. I love to share. I love to empower people. And it's important. I love to sing. I love to play. I love to teach on. In Chicago, I am part of Bomba con Buya, and I love me my family Buya. I've grown so much with them, so check them out. Bomba con Buya from Chi-Town, and also co-director and founder of the all-women group Las Bompleneras, which we're all women obviously, and we do bomba and plena. And bomba and plena is like hip hop and R&B, totally different, but they ride together. And this music has been a tool for me to express what people don't understand. Sometimes people can hear you sing a song and understand. Sometimes it's through a drum. Sometimes it's the way you walk in. Sometimes it's the way you present yourself. And I think it's really important, the importance of music, right? And to use music to the best of your abilities. I'm a wild child. I'm a wild child. So when you come into class, I'm going to tell you, and my students know, they're probably signed down right now. So big ups to a todos los estudiantes míos y bella. They know I'm talking. And I want them to speak their language, and I want them to feel. Some people have never moved their bodies. They didn't know they had another language. Ooh. Some people come and they talk about Bámbula, bomba, piquete, paseo, Puerto Rico, Haiti. You come and you talk about so much and you see these people flourishing. Like, this black music is life. We can't live without black music. We don't exist without blackness. And it's so beautiful. And we have to say it because people are so oppressed. We're digging years and years and years of oppression. And as teaching artists, as community leaders, right? My mission has changed so much, but I'm bringing in my 33rd birthday knowing and being aligned with what I have to do. Binta, I feel you. Being a woman on top of that, having to do this work. And I also have a community and communities everywhere that support my work, so you continue going as a woman, because sometimes women, aside from us being black and brown, sometimes women don't get a seat at that table. But we're always curating something. We're the ones that make the sauce and we pass it down. People forget to talk about the chefs, but they talking about how good that dinner was. And sometimes when and when we're talking about bomba, you didn't see a lot of women movements, but that didn't mean que nosotros no estábamos aprendiendo. That does not mean that we were not learning with our grandfathers, with our uncles, with our fathers, with our brothers, teaching us this drumming, right? We come, sometimes this music that we have, that we're unpacking, that's part of our story. That's part of our resilience. It isn't always going to be pretty. And so it's beautiful. I'm grateful to be in the space. And in all honesty, like, I just hope that my ancestors, God, this universe, continues to move me in ways where I can move people. The older you get, you grow up. You're more mature. You see music differently. It doesn't matter if I've grown up in this music, so I've had my my times where I'm like, that wasn't too smart, girl. But as you grow, and when you do work, I live in Humboldt Park. I don't care how much money I get. I don't care if I don't get money. I don't care the opportunities I get or anything. It is a political statement for me to live in mi barrio. It is a political statement for me to live in my hood, because our people need empowerment. They need empowerment. We should be able to share spaces no matter how far we go. We come back to our hoods, and we're there in our hoods, and we share spaces, and we empower people. Oye, mira, todavía está aquí. I'm still working. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter what happens. I'm very grounded, and it's so beautiful to be so grounded in this work. And I gotta give a shout out a toda la gente bella que siempre me apoyan, que siempre están presentes, because at the end of the day, this is a whole yin yang effect. What I do for you today, you do for me tomorrow. And we got this, and we got this. We got it going back and forth. And so everyone eats. And if there's no space at that table, we have all the resources and tools to just build more space and build another table and say, hold on, let me extend this table a little bit more and be examples to this work, right? Because when we're doing music of resistance, we have to go to sleep, wake up, repeat, go to sleep, wake up, repeat, go to sleep to remember. Bámbula, right? And so this is living what we do. I think with this 2020, on this coronavirus and everything, it got us coming back to center ourselves. I'm so, like, this has been a curse and a blessing at the same time, because it's so important to take care of what we got, and I'm just blessed to be doing this work, and I'm going to continue doing this work through La Escuelita, Bombera Corazón, which is a space that I travel and I give workshops, and I've shared with so many people. I'm so blessed. And with I've been able to go virtual for the first time. I've been doing Bomba my whole life, and for the first time I got to go virtual. I had to sit down. I remember in March sitting down and being like, aquí se acabó. Aquí se acabó, porque I don't know what's going to happen. Aquí I'm like, Zoom, what is Zoom? And how much do you pay for it? Like, it was a whole new platform for me. And just having to teach and keep a culture alive that it demands you to be present. You know what that is? To be hyping people up, and you're hyping the whole computer up. But these people, it's about energy. It's when you start testing yourself, and which is good, because us as teachers, as people, as activists, ¿verdad? It's so important to continue feeding the seed that so many people want to continue to dug up and not let it be seen. And here we are growing through all of that. Because they didn't know that this seed produced other seeds all over the world, and this is where we at. And so it's a good thing to say diaspora, and it's a good thing to just be, but for me, cuando yo estoy en Puerto Rico, la bendición de mi abuela, that I give bendiciones to my grandmother, is the same bendición que le doy a mi abuela en Chicago. Both of them are valid. Both of them have stories. Both of them are part of the reason why I'm here. And shout out to Guayama. I'm from the south side of Puerto Rico. Guayama. There's nothing like Southern love. I'm telling you, they want to forget about us, but we out here. But blessings. That's a little bit of what I do. And
what a taste! What a flavor! Thank you. And can I just add? If the table isn't big enough, we don't even need to build another table. We have the biggest table there is. The ground.
Yes, you got that. You got that correct.
Back to the ground, and that was one of the best experiences of me going to my village, returning to Nubia, and every single meal. They have the chairs, they have the banabir, which they made from the palm tree wood, and That's a whole other story we'll be sharing
But
later.
you were secure enough to do
You
what you
have
wanted.
the ground. We have the ground, and you know what? Mother Earth is big enough for us all.
Yes.
Ramu, what is Africa Rising to you, and what are some of the challenges that you navigate and hold on to Africa Rising as you move forward?
Yeah, first of all, I'm just so glad to be here. After this, it's like the energy, man, the energy is just like I could feel it, you know what I mean? And I'm just so thankful to be a part of this. Everybody on here is just we're just giving each other the energy that we need, and it's so important, you know what I mean? It's so important, especially at a time like this where we don't get to go out as much as we used to and do live events in person, you know, because being on stage as a performer, when you're on stage and that energy you get from the crowd and you feed the crowd that energy, we're not doing that anymore because of the virus and everything. So having these live, you know, virtual performances in a way it's so important, and I could just feel the energy. So thank you so much for all the participants on here. Africa uniting is where do I even start? Is the unity and to build to you know the gaps, you know, to build the bridge to fill in those gaps. To me, that is something beyond important, and I don't even know where to start. And just using my art, using my music, and you know, there was a time like I started making music at a very young age. I remember I recorded like my first song, or tried, I should say, tried to record my first song at like 12 years old, right? So ever since, I just fell in love with it, but it came natural. You know what I mean? I feel like as people of African descent and Black people globally, we are naturally a people of rhythm, right? And so I found there's information, right? It was my story that I wanted to share with the world. And through music, what I discovered was I can give information through inspiration, right? With music, because we are naturally people of rhythm. And when you hear something, we just feel it and we move, right? We don't have to wait for someone to tell us, you know, when the beat drops, we feel it and it just happens, right? So through music, I'm giving information through the music, which is inspiration. And I feel like that's very important, and it's a part of who we are. And as I started studying and learning about Nubian history and about the civilizations, right, plural, of who we are and how early on this and the languages and how we spread throughout the world, and even like from a spiritual point of view, it doesn't matter what you believe in specifically, but we are people who are even like in the Bible, our kings are there, you know what I mean? Black people are we gave life to this earth, right? And it's it was very sad for me to know that people don't know this, specifically Black people, right? There's a lot of misinformation out there, some of it on purpose, right? And so when I discovered who I am and I started learning about my ancestry and about this language that as a child I would hear my grandmother speaking, and this language was different from what I would hear on the streets. It wasn't Arabic, right? But I would hear her speaking this language, a completely different language. And as a kid, you don't know, right? You just running around the house or whatever. But I started asking questions as I got older, and I started asking my mother about this language that she's fluent in it. And it's like, well, why is that generation fluent in this language and they know how to speak it, but all of a sudden my generation doesn't speak it? What happened? So I started learning about us being forced, right? Forced to relocate out of our homeland, which we've lived for thousands of years. We lived along the Nile River, and all of a sudden they threw us somewhere in the desert. So the environment and the connection you have with the land is also very important. So that was stripped away from us. The language has been dying. And so I just had so many stories that I wanted to share. I remember I would even walk around in high school, like telling kids about, you know, and they would be like, man, stop preaching to us. But, you know, and then it's funny and we laugh, but it's also serious at the same time. And so that connection that we have to make with the motherland and those of us in the Western world is so important, because as cliche as it sounds, it's so true. As long as there's one black person, and black I mean globally, right? Black person not liberated, none of us are truly liberated. And so we have to make that effort and connect through whatever platform we have to really extend our hands out there, and because it's selfish of us to have a certain knowledge or certain information and keep it to ourselves. What good is that going to do for me, right? And those, for me, that's what I try to do, at least through my music and through my platform. I use my art and my songs to send this information out there into the world. And hey, if it connects, then mission accomplished. I'm glad. I'm grateful for that.
And we are grateful to you and for you and all you do to remind us and to keep ringing that alarm, especially when they try to make us forget, especially when they try and distract us, especially when they try throwing things in our way to keep us sucked into our own hamster wheels so we don't even know what's happening to our neighbors. And I mean our literal neighbors, like the person in the house next door. I don't mean in the country next door or the village next door. I mean actual neighbors. And for those who don't know, I will take a second and say, eyes on Darfur. The revolution in Sudan continues. And this is exactly what they're trying to do, to distract from what's happening and throw in, this facade of a government shuffle, or, but look, there's some women that are coming into power. Like, be happy. You're getting, these are all crumbs. And if we are not realizing right now and claim and step up and say, we are done with crumbs. We are not here for crumbs. We carry and bear and grow every single ingredient they use to make this food. And then they dare throw crumbs. And then we have the audacity to say, oh, look, but they're not giving us anything. We have given, and now we need to take back. It is time. It is time. It is time. Black Ram.
Yeah.
What is Africa rising to you? And what are some of the challenges?
Okay. Well, the people of Africa and diaspora have endured so much, from slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, to colonialism that we've been suffering from. I could basically say that the result of colonialism is the reason why I don't have a father. Why? Because of all these puppet dictators that have been put into place, where we've been divided into like caste systems, the whole divide and conquer. Um, with with respect to saying, oh well, your culture doesn't matter. Only this culture is the default culture that everyone has to assimilate and be part of, which was the Arabization of Sudan, basically. Um, I may look like it's prototypical Arab Sudanese person, but I don't necessarily identify as that. Like, we speak Arabic as our main language, but there's so many different languages that have been lost in Sudan, or at least they are dying out on the verge of extinction. There's a lot of culture in Sudan that we don't even necessarily know about. Like, my family is not the most, doesn't have a particularly unique culture. It's pretty much the standard. I know what tribe I'm part of, but like, a lot of the practices are sort of like, some of them are sort of like shalech, like slicing the side of your face, have sort of been are outdated and sort of not really accepted. But yeah, we just need to sort of maintain our heritage in a sense that it has to be, um, obviously with respect to the to the 21st century. Nothing sort of harming someone else by preserving that particular culture, but at the same time, we have to look at other cultures for inspiration and try and keep alive um, some of these non-Arab elements in Sudan, because Sudan is a really diverse country, um, with all kinds of ethnic groups, but a lot of them are marginalized. You don't see them on TV. Um, you don't see them on the advertisements, and all these Instagram pages that sort of show a more. There's quite a lot of colorism in Sudan, and we sort of lack acceptance of our African background. Some of us, anyway. So I mean, the good thing about the revolution is sort of reinforced that Pan Africanism, um, that we always should have had, but that was stolen from us by the Kezan, because the Kezan were trying to push everything down. The Kezan are basically the Islamists. For those who don't know, the Islamists who sort of tried to force their way of life on everybody else in Sudan, even though you have people of various religions and ethnic backgrounds. And the thing is, these Kezan are the biggest hypocrites. They just did it for money. They weren't. Um, it wasn't. It wasn't actually about religion. A lot of what they do is against religion. So, and basically, I say straight up, they're coons because they hate their own people. They have killed. They commit genocide. They send militias to rape, murder, and just steal all the resources. Just basically echoing what their colonial masters have taught them. Um, so yeah, but the African people are a resilient people. Um, we continue to fight for justice, whether it's here or abroad. Wait, when I say here, I mean whether it's in the motherland or abroad, in the United States, the United Kingdom. As you can see with Black Lives Matter, the momentum, um, the movement has gained a lot of steam. I remember when it was in 2014, or wait, was it 2012? I think it was when Trayvon Martin was killed by George Zimmerman, was murdered by George Zimmerman. That's when I first heard about Black Lives Matter, or was it Mike Brown? Anyway, um, I noticed parallels between the Sudanese Revolution and Black Lives Matter. What with it sort of it lost a bit of steam. Black Lives Matter lost a bit of steam after like 2014, I think. I don't know exactly, but I also felt that with the Sudanese Revolution, because the Sudanese Revolution in the early 2000s, um, there was a movement, Gadifna, and that there was sort of a catalyst in students who were protesting, were murdered in 2000. Maybe that happened afterwards, but anyway, people were just fed up. But at the time, no one was united. There weren't any neighborhood groups, or Sudanese professional associations, or um, just unions sort of bringing people together. That was the problem. A lot of people were not dissatisfied with the government, um, but or they had their own vendettas, like myself. But we didn't know we were on the same. We were on the same sort of wavelength. So we didn't like. I didn't know like how many people in Sudan really despised the government, like, because some people were happy with the status quo, or it appeared so, and it just seemed like everyone was just living their daily lives. while others were suffering, and the government sort of muted a lot of the voices through like propaganda on the TV, basically um, just broadcast music in a sense that it was not music to sort of celebrate being African. It was sort of music that was just broadcast to sort of prevent the actual news from getting out. So um, yeah, we just had to sort of keep our momentum, and so it was revitalized in or in 2018, just like how Black Lives Matter um, was sort of the catalyst for that was the George Floyd videotape. Um, and also sort of there's a you can see everyone change their profile pictures to black, um, just like they changed their profile pictures to blue after June the 3rd, where the military HQ sit-in was violently dispersed. It was basically scorched earth tactics, where the Janjaweed just and security forces headed by Salah Ghosh just slaughtered people, and raped and did everything they did in Darfur, but in Khartoum. And it was sort of a wake up call for everyone in Sudan, basically showing them what the Janjaweed were capable of and what they did in Darfur. But Khartoum got a bit of a taste of that, even though we should really have been more attentive to what our brothers and sisters in Darfur and Nuba Mountains and Abyei were going through. But
it goes back to the reckoning that Rami was saying earlier. Sorry to interrupt. That we're not free until we're all free. And what June 3rd crystallized to the rest of Sudan, because from the beginning of the revolution, people were chanting, "We are all Darfur, we are all Darfur, we are all Darfur." But the question is, did we all really know the weight of that chant? What it really meant for us to say, "We are all Darfur"? Because we were faced with that reality. June 3rd, for those who don't know, please take a moment to Google hashtag Sudan massacre, to Google June 3rd, 2019 in Sudan. That peaceful sit-in, which at some point had passed over 5 million Sudanese, sitting peacefully outside the army headquarters to demand freedom, peace, and justice, was so violently dispersed.
yeah, so
Sorry, I am just reading something and I'm so grateful to have read it. Can we all just take a moment to take a collective breath? This is a very heavy topic. I'm grateful for the reminder. Thank you, Binta. We take a moment to send prayers, to send blessings, to send love and light to everyone who has suffered this fate, to people who are still reckoning with it, to those who worry or maybe don't know that there are people everywhere in this world thinking of them, praying for them, holding them and uplifting them. Please, let's take a moment to send them some light. Thank you. And on that note, music brings life to what we do, to all we do. It brings light to all we do. You share your truth, and the truth is light. And this is something I learned from my first visit to my village. And in my attempts to learn my language, I learned that the word for God in my language is Noor. And though the word in Arabic, Nur, means light, Noor in Nubian is God. And in seeking God and in finding God, we find the guide, we find the light, we find the truth. It is seeking the light. And each of you has been blessed by God to be able to share your light with the world. Most importantly, with yourself, to acknowledge that you have been blessed to express your truth. Tell us a way your music has uplifted you personally. Let's put some positivity and some light-hearted.
Let me get it popping.
Actually, maybe we can do that, Winter.
But
Sing something for us. Bring some.
Oh man.
Hey, we're family. This is what we do. We put each other on the spot whenever we can.
do it, girl. Let me hear you, girl.
Okay, y'all. So I will be transparent and say that I live at home with my family, my parents and my brother. So I can't be super loud, but I will try. Yeah. So I've been working on this song. It's essentially kind of a riff off of Bob Marley's song. My brain is all over the place. I'm trying to remember what the name of the song is. Redemption Song. And so I love the beat of that song. And recently, with everything that's been going on, I've been thinking about just affirmations, like positive affirmations for myself and for people in my community. And so this song doesn't have a name yet, and I won't sing the whole thing because it's not finished, but I'll sing a little bit. So yeah, please bear with me, y'all. It's super early for me over here, so I'm gonna try. All right. You are the best part of the world. Don't be ashamed of your ups and downs. I can't remember the rest. Hold on, let me find the words because I don't want to mess y'all up. I really want you guys to hear this. So let's see if I can find it. I just wrote this, so let's see. Where are you? You know what? It's okay. I'm gonna just sing the I Am Light song for y'all because I think that is a really, really beautiful song, and that's what. Uh-oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but hold on one second. I Am Light lyrics. Thank you for bearing with me. All right, I don't know. Do you think I can put the instrumental, or would you be able to hear it? All right.
If you want, you can. If you can put it on your laptop, we can screen share, or it can play through your computer. That's a possibility. I just want to take a quick moment to give Rami the floor because he's tuning in from the UK. Also, again, happy Eid and Eid Mubarak for anyone celebrating, and a special thanks for those celebrating and still taking time to step away from physical family to join us with the bigger extended virtual family. We are eternally grateful, and we ask you all to remember to come back. We're having the September event, and we hope each and every one of you will be coming back. As Binta sets up the instrumentals and brings her light into our setting, I yield the floor to Rami to say some last words. And I will be coming back to you to get your pledge, because at the end of every panel, we get pledges from our panelists I already know you're continuing to do what you do, but please, few words for our fam before you leave us.
Yeah. So apologize for leaving so abruptly, but I'm actually at my in-laws' house right now, and my wife's brothers and everybody came over. We're getting ready to set up the barbecue, so I gotta get going. But
Of course.
um,
Gotta do
now
that,
I'm just so glad to be a part of this. I'm so glad to be a part of this. Everyone on the panel, I definitely want to connect with every single one of you that I'm not already connected to. So my name is actually my handle on my Instagram and Twitter. Reach out to me. I'll follow you back and let's work together because let's grow. You know, we got to grow as a team, work and grow together is very important. I love everything I've heard so far from everyone. And to everyone tuned in, thank you so much. Eid
Rami.
Mubarak. And as we say in Nubian, Korego na nyanale. So
Rami,
have a
I was gonna
blessed,
say,
beautiful
Blessings,
rest of your
brother. It
day.
was
Thank you so much.
pleasure.
Rami,
Bless.
I was just gonna say one thing to you. The next release that I want to drop is with you featured on the song.
Let's make it happen.
Family,
Let's make it
Alright.
happen, bro. Let's
Do
make
your
it
time,
happen.
man. Do your barbecue, man.
we have 32 and 1, 2, 3. No, we have 35 witnesses to pledge right here coming out of Africa.
Hey.
We have a pledge from Black Ram and Real Rami Dawood of a piece of art of Africa rising coming together. And who knows, maybe we can get some bomba in the background and some interesting tunage as well.
Hey, let's make it happen. I'm down, bro. I'm down. Send it to me and we'll make it happen for sure. Yeah.
Allah, thank you.
Next time we're going to the barbecue with you. Stop playing, okay?
Yeah,
All right. Hey, you're welcome.
I mean, vegan as I am now, but still, I'll have some Sudanese shea.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace to the family, Rami. Thank you. Binta, are we ready?
I think so. So I'm gonna press play. Let me know if you can hear me. If not, I'll just do it a cappella, inshallah. So let's see if you guys can hear this. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully this works. Alright, bismillah. Let me just start it over here. Alright. I'm not the color of my eyes. I'm not the skin on the outside.
already know, girl. You got me like, what?
I am light. All right. On the spot.
Oh my God. Ah, so beautiful. So beautiful. Don't you ever doubt. Don't you ever doubt. You have a beautiful voice. Always show up to your light. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And even having to say, I am light, like it's something that we have to continue to repeat to ourselves so we can believe it that we are light.
That's wrong.
Beautiful, beautiful Black woman. Thank you so much for sharing that.
So much.
Thank you so much. I felt it because I could feel it. Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing that
you.
with us. And you pulled through, girl. You didn't give up. You said, let me find this instrumental. Now I'm going to find it. We're going to do this.
It's communicating resilience. It's communicating resistance. It's communicating revolution. This is why when we started this panel, I said, family, welcome to the revolution. And it is in everything we do. Thank you for bringing your light. Also, can I get that as like a recording that maybe can be my alarm?
I know.
Like
It's so beautiful.
I would love to wake up to that.
Mm.
My sister has like the proper alarm thing on the phone. That's like a fire alarm or something's going on. And I don't want to wake up to that. I want to wake up to this. I want to wake up remembering that I am light. Remembering that I carry it within me, and remembering that that was my sister reminding me that I am light. Thank you for sending your light. Black Ram, tell us how you bring the light in with your work to our people.
Well, the thing is with me, the most important thing for me was not money, really, with this music thing. The whole point of it was to get my story out there to as many people as possible. Anything after that is a bonus for me. But yeah, I was just trying to get as wide of an audience as I can. It was even more so. I wanted to be able to have some input into the justice that we're seeking. So that's been my prime motivation. Of course, I like hip hop and other aspects of it, just fun music. But my focus right now has been the revolution. Once I get all of that, but the thing is, the revolution continues regardless. So um, there's always the motivation. But I'm saying that I wanted to do a full LP about the revolution. Now, how I'm gonna be able to do all of those songs right now is a bit. Uh, it depends on my situation, but I'm in the process of writing another song. Well, I've written it. It's just a case of getting it recorded. Um, and yeah, I wanted Rami on it because he sort of embodies that kind of like descriptive, emotive wordplay that is important in a song like that. So yeah, the thing is with me and music, it's therapeutic. It helps you sort of relieve any kind of like, well, animosity you've had towards a certain person, or um, well, it makes you feel like you're getting some kind of revenge, should I say? If that's what it's about for you, justice, revenge. Yeah, if you want to be part of the process. Um, so for me, it was about that. It was about, yeah, telling my story, and in the fact that I chose hip hop, it was because hip hop, you have quite an expanded vocabulary that you can use in hip hop. Um, there's a lot of nuances that I have to explain. And the only way for me to do that was to be able to rap it. When I first heard about hip hop, I was like, yo, this is cool. So you talk over a beat. And then I realized there's so much more than that. This was as a kid when I first discovered it, but I wasn't sure about how to get into it. It wasn't necessarily the main focus of mine. This wasn't necessarily an aspiration of mine to be a hip hop artist. But then I realized, hip hop is about telling your own unique narratives, whatever hardships you've endured through your life. So, um, you know how hip hop began in South Bronx, and everyone was talking about their um, difficult environments and the conditions that they had to face every day. Police brutality. I thought, you know what, I need to tell my own unique story, and it's quite a unique story in Sudan. So I felt like, okay, I this is the best way to do it. I mean, I could have done it through drawing and visual art, but I didn't really realize that that was also a means that you could, because I've seen all the graffiti in Sudan and all of the artwork during the revolution, and I thought to myself, why didn't I do that too? Because I used to draw, actually. I've kind of stopped now. My skill level's gone down a little bit because I haven't been practicing. But that was another means that I could have done it. I could have sort of expressed myself. But yeah, I chose music at the time because I thought, okay, this is the way that you are to express yourself. That a lot of people listen to hip hop music, they listen to rap, because yeah, that's the one way to get your audience. But however, the issue is nowadays the market is very saturated. There are a lot of hungry artists, and unless we sort of like eat together at the table, uh, it's gonna be difficult. Um, so it's yeah. Even in Sudan, I didn't realize how many rappers there were in Sudan, and they're just like, ugh, you know, this is kind of a bit hard to sort of get your voice out there. My main struggle was the promotion aspect of it, not the actual content. It was sort of how do I sort of make myself heard. So I was like, okay, I need to make sure I have a high quality product to put it out there to the people. So I made sure I didn't take any shortcuts this time, because back in the day when I used to record music, it was more uh, about just sort of like getting as much out there, trying to impress people with like wordplay and this and that and strange concepts. Whereas nowadays I'm more like focused on any mistake that I may make, I may go and redo it before I decide to put it out there. So I've just been like making sure the sound quality is high, and just to maximize my audience. And another thing is, on my EP, I didn't actually cuss once. So on my EP for Make Sudan Great Again, I know it's a controversial name, but I sort of used that. The reason why I said Make Sudan Great Again was because um, Sudan used to be great in the days of the Pharaoh, in the days of the Nubian kingdoms, and we had a lot of heritage, and it was the cradle of civilization. Um, so,
Let me just clarify
uh,
here. At the time of the Nubian
was
civilization, there was no
yeah,
Sudan. The map did not say Sudan, and it's very, 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 very important to acknowledge that, because this is part of how we keep the heritage alive. We have people actively telling us there is no such thing as Nubian culture. We're all Sudanese.
mm,
No, when one culture comes before another culture, we need to acknowledge that, and by all means, embrace how
mm,
we've grown, embrace how we've connected, embrace that all our differences are elements of strength that we can bring together to the table to empower one another and continue growing. But don't for 1 second try and erase what was there before. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. We don't acknowledge one thing by erasing another. It does not work that way. I went to the largest conference on Nubian studies, and the government of Sudan had then sent a third of its delegation specifically to say there is no Nubian heritage. And instead they are calling it ancient Sudanese. Now that's to some extent what the Egyptians have done when they lumped the Nubian civilization with the ancient Egyptian one. They are two separate civilizations. They coexisted, they fought, sure, but they're two separate conversations, and we need to civilizations, and we need to be able to acknowledge that. And you said, and I wanted to say that earlier when you were discussing Sudan and its relation, the revolution and its relation to the global Black Lives Movement now. Non-Sudani sisters and brothers who are tuning in, we'll take a second for you to tell us, do you know or can you guess what the word Sudan means? Anyone? Type up in the comments if you can guess what the word Sudan means. The official name of our country, Bilad al-Sudan. Well, it's not the official, now the official name is Jumhuriyat al-Sudan al-Arabiya, or the Arab Republic of Sudan. Or no, we don't have the Arab Republic, but the Republic of Sudan. As Black Ram was saying, we have been Arabized. But do we know what that Arabic word means? Bilad al-Sudan.
Should I answer?
Please, please.
Okay, well, it's a social construct, so it's what the colonizers called the land of the blacks. So yeah.
But when you have a revolution sparking out of the land of the blacks, saying we reject the Arabization, we reject being painted by one large brush, saying that we are all one thing, we are embracing our differences, we are embracing that we are Nubians and Beja and Fur and Zarao and everything, and that you can no longer say we are all Arabs or we are all Muslim. That is something that must be shut down for the powers that be, because they understand. Once others realize this, once others acknowledge that we are saying this is the land of the blacks, and the blacks are rising, and we are getting what's ours, and we are coming together, and you can no longer separate us, and you can no longer keep us in hamster wheels where we don't know what's happening to our neighbors and to our family around the world, and that's done. They understand that we are coming for them. We are coming to what they've taken from us. They understand that this is going to be the mother of all domino effects. Because just like they've come together to oppress us, now we're coming together to take it back, to take back our power. And to them, that's something that threatens their very existence. And if it's doing that, we have to remember that as hard as it is, as difficult as it is, as heavy as it is our duty, it is our calling, it is our purpose, it is our obligation to keep on marching. Because the second we stop to take a breath, they will find where to wiggle themselves in, and they will try again to divide and conquer. And this is what's happening right now in Sudan. And Black Ram, you were talking about how the wave of the Black Lives Matter as a movement just took a dip, and now it's coming back up as the global Black Lives Movement. That dip was the second we took a breath to say, oh, look, they're giving us crumbs. Oh, look, they're going to try George Zimmerman. And we paused there. But they will try, they will tell us, look, we're working on it. Give us a second. We need to remember these are crumbs. These are old crumbs. We are done with crumbs. And we cannot stop. We must keep on marching. And if it means stopping to have Binta sing to us and remind us that we are light, then so be it. If it means stopping and bringing out Beto's drums and Ivalice's maracas and singing to us and reminding us that we are the song of the revolution, then so be it. If it means you pulling back those sketchbooks and polishing back those drawing skills, because family, the first thing they did when they entered and they broke up our peaceful sit-in is they took out the paint and they painted over all these murals that he was telling you about.
I saw it with my own eyes. Them what clean, because we went a few days after it happened. We passed through the military HQ. So we saw them basically trying to hide their deeds and everything that they did, as well as washing off the graffiti. And yeah, just trying to sweep up the I could smell the stench of burning in the air. But yeah, so
okay, back to light, in the spirit of coming together, in the spirit of Ubuntu, in the spirit of we are Africa rising. Black Ram was talking about some of the competition, about everyone wanting a piece and somehow thinking that we are lacking and that there isn't enough room for all of us to shine. And I just want to take a moment to tell anyone who feels that way to stop in the middle of the night, to stop and just look up and look at that sky and how vast it is. And look at the stars that dust that sky. And understand how many more stars we don't see, but are burning just as bright and are doing their all. And this right here is what we're trying to do at Africa Week 2020. Because, and again, I'm getting very emotional now. And again, Beto, I am so grateful to you. We are doing this so that our family can bring in their family and their friends and their neighbors, because we don't have access to them, because we have somehow, we're trying to get out of it. We're working on getting out of it. But at the end of the day, we have been conditioned that we are separate. We have been conditioned that no one will show up for us. Africa Week 2020 is a promise that we will keep showing up, is a promise that we will uplift you in any and every way we know how to. All you need to do is come to this page, is send us an email, is tell us, family, I'm working on this. Can you help? And watch us rise for you. Watch us come and uplift you and pull everyone we know from within this family. You know, just yesterday, this one-day event pulled over 9,000 people onto our platform. That's, I don't know what family reunions you've been to, but if you've been to a family reunion that has 9,000 people physically, tell me about it. But this is what Africa Week 2020 is about. So away from the competition, this isn't about competition. There is room for all of us to shine. This is about collaboration. So I want to dedicate the next half an hour that we have together to brainstorm and think, how can we collaborate? What are ways that have worked for you to make yourself seen, to reach out to people you didn't think you could communicate with or you could work with, but also how we can connect you to other people. How can Africa Week 2020, how can our family uplift you and encourage more collaborations? We already have Black Ram's pledge with Rami, and it's recorded, so we will hold you accountable. So we
pledged before that, actually. We pledged way before that. I was just sort of like...
So then we'll be asking for another pledge. The more, the merrier. You heard it here first. That was pledged before, so it doesn't count. We'll hold them accountable for it anyway, but we're looking for another pledge. How do we build on what we already have, on what each of these stars we have here have? How do we build on it family tuning in from around the world, if you have ideas, if you know someone who sings, if you know someone who can add to this magic, bring them in, tag them, tell us their name so we can find them, because we will do it. Ibalis, tell us, how do we collaborate?
We show up. We be about it. What we say, we do. Whether we're scared, whether we're doubting, we show up, because we won't be able to know if we don't show up. It's about nurturing. It's about making sure that you're heard, because we are not on this earth by ourselves. So when we speak for ourselves, but we also speak in roots of ancestors and our grandmothers and our mothers and our fathers and our grandfathers that weren't heard. We are speaking so much. We are speaking so much now, I think, and we are people of resilience. So we are going to show up. How do we show up? These connections right here. I already feel this is a fam right here. Like, you know, it's a fam. Like, what's up, Dima? How are you, girl? And when what? And Chi-Town sister right here. Like, we getting it. What? And UK over there? Like, this is, now I know somebody. You know what I'm saying? Now I know a few people. And this is beautiful, you know, because somebody decided to open their mouths and say, hey, we need this person in this space. Hey, let's give this person in this space. I'm definitely humbled and so grateful to be in this space and be invited and be considered to be in this space. That's my best friend. Shout out to Lauren Brooks, my comadre, beautiful Black woman. This Lauren, badass bombera, beautiful. We've been jamming together since we were about 7 or 8 years old. And it's really dope. We have to make sure that the spaces that we create, you know, when we make space and the spaces that we create, that we're all heard and not at the same time, because we need to listen to be able to connect, relate. You know, you may be, and I want to know your stories, because I may be in a room that you're not, and I can be your voice, and I can make sure I tell your story like I've been living proof. Somebody has said, giving me the opportunity to tell your story, giving you the opportunity to tell your story, right? And if we are telling somebody else's story, bringing those people to the light, to the resource of where the story comes out, you know, and it's important. It's important for us to start showing up to spaces, traveling. Once this is all over, we need to show up to these spaces. You know, we can't get lost in this virtual world. We can't get lost in this virtual world, because if we lose virtual world, these rooms will be empty. And this is a way, this is resilience right here. You know, having to be on StreamYard and Zoom and everything, blah, blah. So we don't lose that sauce that we got. So we're reminded of the sauce that we have. And this is why we continue to create, right? To dismantle and destroy, we must create. Right. And so it's beauty. It is beauty. It is beauty. It is beauty. And we connect. We be about our word. That's how we make sure that we make things happen. As transparent as we are, and these stories, not everything is beautiful. Some ugly things, but even in that has beauty, because that is a story. And so we have to just come together and do the work, but be about it. Talk, execute. Talk, let's get it. Talk, show up. Talk, I got an idea. Talk, what's up? Talk, how are you? You know, because everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And right now we're listening to each other. I just got to learn so much about you guys, and that's a blessing. Like, I know more about myself because I know more of you guys. Because we're all one. You get what I'm saying? I want to know. Binta, when you were singing, like, you told us a little bit about you. Had I not known that sometimes you doubt yourself and stuff like that, I would not have been listening with another tone at you singing. This is why I connected. I'm not even there with you, but you were able to give that energy through here. And yes, sometimes there's high and lows in this whole conversation. We've had high and lows, but we have to acknowledge that. We can't continue to put security blankets on our pain and stuff like that. We have to live loud, transparent, and we need to be heard.
And we need to correct people on the way that they tell our stories. I am one. I'm corrected and I correct myself because that's the process of learning, right? We're not perfect. We are living with a system that has never, ever, ever, where you open a book and it tells us about our stories. You don't. We open books that tell us what you should think, what you need to know, and go on with your business. And here we are walking books. We are the pages. And right now we're filling these pages up. And I'm going to turn this page so then the next brother and sister can write their story, because we are the walking books. Nobody can tell our stories better than we can. And this is why we have to claim the spaces. Everybody needs to take some time and reflect and really be in tune and transparent when they sit. What role do they play? Because we need you guys all. We need everybody. We need everybody. And we need everybody to be not on point, because nothing is perfect. There's no book to tell us how to be. Even in these times, here we are. Such dope people, such dope Black and brown people. Here we are building from ground zero, and we have no problem because we're making it happen. Because we are people of resilience. Yes, we're tired. Yes, we're angry. Yes, we're mad, but we don't give up. We are the pages. And until our books are not fully written correctly, we will not stop. And even then, we will start to celebrate our finished books. And they're not even finished because there's so many generations. What we're doing is that we're changing the narratives. And I'm so happy to be living in this life with so many dope people all around the world. I thank y les doy las gracias a todo el mundo que me inspira. And I'm only able to speak like this, not only because I'm going to call it, I am a dope woman. I'm a dope woman. And I'm so excited to be on this earth to do dope things with other dope women and other dope men. But I'm also grateful that I'm surrounded by so many brilliant, rooted people that have been able to teach me as well, so that I can speak. Because if I have the platform, I'm going to use it. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a wild child, but I know when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. When I'm right, I'm right. And when I'm wrong, I come and fix that. And I give you 3 pages because I was wrong, I'm 1. And this is how we got to show up. And we got to be happy about it. And we got to be wild. We are our ancestors' wildest dream. And we have to get in trouble, because good trouble is needed, because they don't listen to us when we nice. And this is what it is. Nobody will ever be the same. So do not be scared. Do not be hushed. Do not be corrected when you are expressing how you feel. Nobody knows your story better than you. And if you don't show up to tell it, it will not be told. And we need your story, because it is part of the pages of these books that we are.
Ivalice. Truth, you are speaking truth. You are sending truth. You are vibrating truth, and you are vibrating light. And I know I need this reminder. Although I know it and I breathe it and I say it, I know I need this reminder. And I'm so grateful that you are putting it out there. And I'm so very grateful that on your day, you are coming out here and sharing this truth. You're sharing this light with us. Please, please drop your links so that people can find you, can keep connecting with you, can keep being inspired by you.
My people, my beautiful people that are out there, please, at my pages. At Ivalice, por favor. I'll get lost in the hole.
I'm writing here because we are starting a t-shirt line for Africa Week 2020 from all the amazing quotes from the amazing souls and the amazing and wonderful and dynamic family members who have joined us from around the world. And I now have, we are the pages, we are the walking books. And quote on the T-shirt will have or the handle of the person.
Yes.
2020 logo in the back.
That's so dope.
The reminder. So, Binta, how do we collaborate? How do we work together? How do we communicate? How do we build on what we have?
Man, subhanAllah. I think normally I would say that Evelise dropped the mic, but since she said that we're turning pages, I guess it's my turn to share a little bit.
You matter,
So thank you.
You matter.
Thank you. Someone had mentioned earlier about education. I think that is something that is really near and dear to my heart specifically. So I know that all of the instances that I dealt with growing up was due to children being poorly educated about other people in other countries and being, mean to other children and that in itself affects your identity. It affects your self-esteem, your self-worth, how you think about yourself. So for me, I think showing up as artists and educators in different spaces, as Evelise was saying, allowing children to see the beauty in our culture, so then they can see the beauty within themselves and be able to pass and share that along within their class, I think would be great, because obviously we learn a lot of these terrible things from adults or from other people within our communities who don't know any better. So if we are able to lift these young people up and allow them to see, all the light that they have surrounding them, and be strong in their faith, be strong in their color, be strong in their community, and they're going to be able to continue to pass the book to generations, as she said. I think honestly, it's really about being true to yourself and allowing others to see that truth, and not to don't blind yourself. Don't put shutters over your eyes and think that you have to be a certain way or you have to adhere to what society is telling you. Be able to spread peace amongst the world, and I think that's essentially what we can do to collaborate and continue to listen ferociously to other people's stories. It's not all about us. And you mentioned earlier about all the stars in the sky. There's definitely more than enough room for everyone who's doing, any type of voice, any type of acting, any type of dance, writing, whatever it is that you do. There's more than enough room, because the creator is the one that put together this story for us, and whatever we do, no matter what road or path we take, there's nothing we can do that will derail us from that. So we're gonna get where we're meant to get. And inshallah, just, continue to live and to speak your truth. And for me, I'm taking so much from this conversation as well. Honestly, it's just really breathing life into my heart, into my spirit. So I'm really grateful for all of you for having me here. I'm grateful to meet all of you. And inshallah, Evelise, we can connect in person whenever this corona thing chills out.
You're muted.
We definitely got to get Chicago and so many brilliant people that I've been able to meet through La Escuelita. We got time, and you know what? When we get together, I have a whole community. You have a whole community. Now we're gonna have a big old community, and it's about to explode. It's like, where do they come out from? Where are they coming from? What? Oh, because you forgot us don't mean that we don't exist, and that's where you flip it. That's where you flip it. Yeah. Oh, yes, definitely.
I'm gonna put this out there. We have an event in September. We want these collaborations to come.
Oh yeah, count on it. It's beautiful. Oh yes,
for sure.
We want building.
Thank you.
Thank you, Binta. Thank you. Black Ram, how do we keep collaborating?
Right, for starters, we've collaborated here. That for starters, anyway. This is like a starting point for us to collaborate on a regular basis. It sort of brought me out of my comfort zone, in a sense that I haven't really done that many lives before, by the way. So because the thing is with lives, it's a little bit different from if I were to come up on stage and perform. It's a different dynamic. I don't find it as phasing to go up and perform. But if you ask me to go on a live, well, everything's kind of got to be, you've got to be at the right setup. Your room has to be tidy. It's just like,
You're not alone, brother.
so I mean, like, how do we collaborate? We listen to one another. Number one, we sort of give each other time to speak. We don't really speak over the other person, although you may want to sort of like say something as that person is speaking, because a lot of the time I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's a great point, I want to add to that, but you sort of like, okay, well, this person's speaking. Just etiquette. How else do we collaborate? We make it a regular occurrence, I guess. Sort of schedule it and just sort of like make time for one another. And yeah, just listen to one another's stories, take in what the other person, what unique experience they have to give, and their energy. We share that energy amongst ourselves. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say in terms of collaboration.
Speaking of scheduling, take your pens, your papers, your calendars, your phones, your laptops, whatever it is that you keep your dates in, and mark your calendars. The 21st of September is the beginning of Africa Week 2020 September event, and it is going to be a week long. For those of you who don't know, who are still tuning in, when we first launched Africa Week 2020, it was meant to be 5 days, ended up being 6.5, because we had so much to share, and there was an overwhelming and just like pouring of people who wanted to share what they do, who wanted to connect with people. And it was 24 hours a day, non-stop live streaming of all things Africa Rising. And it was pure magic. It was anyone at any point getting onto our page throughout that week could tune into a panel or a workshop or a session about something that is right and something that is beautiful about all that is Africa. And please, please mark your calendars. Come back to us, write to us, let us know how you would like to contribute. We are growing our team, not just our family, but our team that helps facilitate doing what we do, because right now it's Alexandra and I, and we're so very grateful, Beto, who tuned in and came into Africa Week 2020 as a presenter, as a teacher, as an educator, as an edutainer for one session. That one session turned into 3 sessions in that same week. And those 3 sessions then turned into him joining and partnering up with us to plan this day. And this is what it's about. So can we take—
He's amazing. Beto, big up to Beto. Big up to Beto. Oh, he's amazing. A good soul. Beto, gracias. Y aquí por ti también, gracias.
We send so much love out there to Beto, to people like Beto, to our family who we have not yet connected with. And if you haven't, again, I say, if you haven't tuned in yesterday to the event, to the full event, tune in and see some of the magic our people are creating, some of the power that is being manifested from within and rising within, and understand why we say this is Africa Rising. We are Africa Rising. Understand it. Go through these panels. And if nothing else, go to the last session, our open mic. Black woman, I promise you. I got so emotional at some point, I couldn't actually get back on after some of the pieces. And I just write in the private chat, you know, I can't get on, I'm too emotional. And was Taj, who acknowledged that it's okay to be emotional and it's okay to cry. And although I say it to other people, and I try to hold myself accountable and not be a hypocrite, but I sometimes, maybe it's the Aquarian in me, sometimes it's just easier to put our pain to the side, because we think the only way to help is to prioritize others. It's not the only way to help. There's not only one way to do anything in the world. And Taj saying what he said had me thinking about it from yesterday to this morning, and it was this morning that it crystallized that in our tears, we don't just heal ourselves. In the Quran, there's a Muslim, and in the Quran it says, وَيَجْعَلْ مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. And from water, he creates life. All that is alive, all that is life. Our tears are water. And whether we know it or not, it brings life to a new breath that we can take in the blessings. We don't know how our tears are healing someone else, someone just seeing us release that, and how it helps them, we don't know. So if our music, I don't know why I say our, I am tone deaf and I cannot sing. But
it's yours too, our. Come on now, we don't work for each other.
But we are one. We are one, so I will own it. Our music, Black music, it is healing. It is sending love. It is sending light. It is sending life into every fiber of our being. And we just need to find ways to keep doing it and keep doing it together. This is resilience. This is saying, joke's on you, Corona. Joke's on you, those who are using Corona to keep us separated. Joke's on anyone who thinks we will still accept being on those hamster wheels. Because this lab is closed, it's shut, it's done. We know how it's done, how it's been done thus far. We've unshackled ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're cooking the sauce, sauce.
Sauce.
Get some sauce.
The sauce is coming. By the way, that's another quote I have here, right? It might be a bit too.
Oh my God, my students are gonna be so happy. And that's what I teach. So, when I'm teaching class, usually students think they're gonna come into like a bomba class and be like, yes, no, we're not talking about that. What is your sauce? What is your story? What is your sauce? Oh yeah, everybody got sauce up in this world. Everyone got sauce. Everybody's saucy. We just have to claim it, embrace it, and put it in the pot and make this go around. Everybody's sauce. Make some good old sauce. Nobody will know the recipe because we are the recipe. So
we are the recipe.
Yeah, and without us, it's not complete.
Yes. Pero. So Alexandra and I keep saying we are the river to keep ourselves going through the madness of Africa Week 2020, the launch. And it's such an important reminder to be the water, to be like water. If you haven't watched Bruce Lee's documentary, do it. But also, Elisa says.
That's what shout out from La Escuelita. So my student is a sauce, and that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. It counts everybody. Everybody got sauce. When we talk about sauce, everybody got their own sauce.
I'm just going to take a moment to share some of these inputs from our family who are tuning in.
And you put one up from Gladys Lopez instead of empowering. You have put one up maybe like 10 minutes ago. That's my mama. Mom, thank you for bringing me to this earth. 33 years ago, Mommy Gladys Lopez. I love you, Mom. I love you.
Will Mommy join us if we send her a link?
Huh?
If we send Mama a link, will she join us? Because Alexandra's mom yesterday tuned in and
what? I don't know, because my mom she's not done. My mom is like, no, hello, that's international. But I love you, Mom. Thank you. I love you, Mom.
Thank you for blessing us with her. for raising her to be the queen that she is, to inspire and empower us. Beto is going to the river. Send our mom to the river, Beto, and send us some blessings from there. Family, we are about to wrap up. Tell us if you have any ideas or anything you have personally tried in terms of collaboration that you have found helpful, that you have found useful, in coming together, in collaborating. What we always say here in Africa Week 2020, you come to teach something, to learn something, and to take something to build on. What are you taking from this conversation? I don't know what was going through your minds when you were invited to join this panel, but I felt a lot of question marks pop up on the other side of whatever screen I was sending the message to. I felt it. I received those question marks and exclamation mark. What is this crazy person saying? 3 days or 2 days? Oh, by the way, the tech gremlins were in full form. The emails inviting these wonderful people. So I think half of you, no, 3/4, you didn't receive the invite. And 2 people on the next panel didn't receive my invites. As I said, the tech gremlins have been in full form. So tell us what you have taken from what you will be taking from this panel as you move forward, not just today, but as you move forward and as you keep scheming to come back in September, because we will hold you accountable with what you've taken and how you built on it, because that's the name of the game. Accountability. In fact,
Yes, I love that.
Accountability. It's traceable accountability. It's trackable accountability. We're coming up with our own word, and that's going to be a T-shirt too.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Tell us.
Who starts?
You go.
Okay. What was the question?
What are you taking with you from this panel, from this family reunion? What are you taking with you to build?
Excellent. Yeah, I've taken a lot of confidence from how sort of like smoothly this went, because as I said to you, lives are not my best thing. I used to use IG live maybe from my phone, but now I see that I've got a better setup. It's a bit more comfortable like this rather than holding your phone up like this and that. I have also sort of been able to collaborate with new people, talking about our experiences, trying to stay to the topic. It's not just a one-on-one type conversation where it's just one person is interviewing you and asking you questions, and you're just sort of telling the other person your life story. But we're sort of building upon certain topics that you, the host, have given us, and so yeah, for me, it's a learning experience, because this is it's pretty. Would you call this a podcast or?
So we don't do labels. We've abolished boxes and set fire to all labels.
This is the first time I've been in a format like this, if you know what I mean.
We call this the virtual family tree.
Okay.
We call this like we're sitting in our village under a tree, sipping on some tea or some kerkede or some lemonade or whatever it is that we sip on from wherever we're from. This is our virtual family tree. However, we are yielding a platform to have these conversations in the form of podcasts, in the form of live shows. So if you have an idea that you would like to host a show about Black music and how to collaborate, or you want to host your own show to uplift other Black artists, you just need to let us know. That's all. You just need to let us know. We'll send you a link. You need to let us know how often you'd like to hold it. Is this a one-time thing? Or are you just testing the water? You know, you don't feel fussed about setting your own platform, setting your own page on Facebook or whatever. Use our platform. The family's here. They're ready. In fact, they're on our cases because we're not doing more And as much as we want to, we remind everyone we are only 2 people at this moment. 3 with Leró, who's jumped in for this panel, and I think it's too late for him to back down now because he's on. But we are growing our family, and so we will be doing it more. So if you have an idea, you want more podcasts, bring it. But this is a conversation under the virtual family tree. You can roll in your pajamas. I can't do it because my mom's probably tuning in and will give me a hard time afterwards. But you know, close enough. Who else? Who's taking what?
I'll go. I'm taking that I need to dance. Like, I'm not a morning person, but Evali's energy, like, it was just sending all the vibes my way.
Come on, girl, let's dance.
Yes, I need to dance. I need to just like shake some stuff up in general in my life. Like, it's been like a kind of rough month for me. So like I'm trying to just like, get back into the swing of things and, lift my stuff up. So I'm just, thankful and grateful to be able to hear this and to have this and to share space with all of you. So I'm taking gratitude, and I'm also taking just like revitalization.
Oh, yes. Dima, you're muted.
Of course I'm muted. Of course, it's the story of my life. I'm telling you, we take them and they won't stop. But you know what? They won't stop me.
That's right.
They won't stop me. I was saying Amin to what Binta was saying. I was saying Ashe to what she was saying. And I was saying, yes, do more dancing. Definitely do more dancing. And Beto says, you can't get rid of me, Dima. I'm not trying to, and I just hope you realize while our guides and our spirits and our angels may have a sense of humor in how they communicate things to us, the universe does not. So understand when you recognize that we can't get rid of you, what that means. That means receiving 111 text messages to set up a panel at all times of the day. But we're grateful. Ibelis, what are you taking with you?
I'm gonna take this as it's my birthday today, so I'm gonna take this as a reminder from my ancestors and God, just the universe letting me know that I am doing what I need to be doing in life. That's really dope how I started here sharing space with you guys, and I've never met you guys, and this is how I started my morning. I legit haven't talked to anybody for my birthday, nothing. Like I literally woke up and I jumped in with you guys, and what a way to be so wild that I just started a new chapter and with new people, and it's added on, right? It's so beautiful. But another thing that I'm taking out of this is I was reminded that we, my people, our people, we do not want crumbs. We want it all. We are here to take our power back, and I need to be reminded when I enter spaces, when I'm curating anything I'm doing, never crumbs. No crumbs, full on. No crumbs, full on. Oh, there goes my mama. Oh, there goes my mama. Oh, there goes my mama. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love you,
Mama.
But that's what I'm taking out of this, to always be reminded, and that would always push me to speak up if I feel like I'm being shortened. Because this is not only for me, my community, is for the world, it's for people. It's part of a bigger movement. So from that first step you make, you gotta be sure and speak up. No crumbs, we want it. No crumbs, we want it all.
All.
We want it all. No crumbs. So thank you for saying that. No crumbs. We want it all. It'll keep it, that line right there inspired me. Like, okay, because when we're community people and we feed people on, we have big hearts. And sometimes because we love so much, forgiveness comes so easily to us and stuff like that. But we must forgive and still demand that we want everything, no crumbs.
No crumbs.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I got a party tonight, the after party.
Yes. Give
Yes.
a shout out.
Yes, mi gente, tengo una fiesta. I have a birthday party tonight. It'll be live on my page. Anybody, please tag my page. Naida, Alisa, I see you guys on the side. Please tag at Ivelis Diaz. I will be going live with some awesome bomberas that also sing. So we're going to have a bomba, all women bomba karaoke birthday party. And what is that? We're bringing a platform for women to be heard, because we need to start documenting us. We need to start documenting things we do. Some of these badass women that make things happen, and we're so used to, women just taking care of us. Like, we need to put them in the spotlight. So I got some amazing women joining me. Y vamos a cantar, and these are my sisters. I have about 12 to 13 bomberas joining me from Puerto Rico, la diaspora. It's everywhere, and we're gonna sing, and that's what I want to do. And it's a bomba karaoke. And let me tell you guys, I'm over here talking like I got it all under control. No, I don't. I don't know what a virtual bomba karaoke is gonna look like, but show up, let's party, and let's celebrate ourselves. We gotta make sure that as hard as we are working out here, we must take time to celebrate ourselves. Celebrate at least for waking up, celebrate our skin, celebrate our stories. We can start there. So please join me tonight. Thank you.
There we go. The Tata, the auntie,
Yes, girl, yes.
has just there, and Alexandra is far more diplomatic and calm, and she really truly balances me. I say no crumbs. She acknowledges the crumbs they give us, but she acknowledges that they are crumbs.
I love it.
She acknowledges whatever little progress they will give us. So she'll say, but crumbs. I say no crumbs, because whatever progress they pretend to have,
I love it.
is not progress if we're not getting that cake. And we really need to reframe that you can't have that cake and eat it too. Yes, we will, and watch us stuff our faces. Watch us.
Watch me bring out this cake and eat it too, okay? Because it's quarantine and can't nobody eat this cake.
Watch us. But I think Alexandra actually had a video with all the crumbs coming through. I love her. Tata, you're listening. Tune in, come in. She has the 60 starting in a minute, actually. So I will take this minute to thank you all, to acknowledge and honor and send you all the love for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes.
I hold this as a promise that you will be coming back in September with something new to share with all of us, with the family, be that a panel, be that our own Africa Week 2020 karaoke, be it a list of do's and don'ts for how to collaborate. Anyway, you know how to show up. Please, please, please keep showing up, keep shining, keep reminding us that we are the light, and we are the light through you, through each and every one of you. Thank you. We send blessings to you and your families.
Can I just ask?
Please. Yes, please.
Yeah, can we? So you've got the live saved, yes?
Yes.
With all the links, so we can follow one another and.
Yes.
This is all on our Facebook page live and on our YouTube. YouTube won't allow us to share the links, but on our Facebook live, all the links are on there. Also the flyer, not the flyer, the little, I don't know what to call it right now because I was drawing complete blanks doing it. Have all the handles, all your handles are on there. You're all on Instagram. You can connect on there, but also you will be receiving reminders and prompts from us to keep connecting, and that we are waiting to hear from you, and we are waiting for the fruits of the pledges you've made today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this initiative. This has been awesome. This has been a blessing. Congratulations, Alexandra, Dima, and Beto, for all the work that you guys are creating and creating these spaces. So these spaces open up other spaces and stuff. It's amazing. And you only say it's you three, but look at how powerful the three of you guys were able to bring your sauces together
Yes.
And everybody get a little soft since 8 in the morning all the way to 8 at night. So we are rocking.
So Alexandra has cake for everyone. I think there's a calling for a t-shirt, sauce for everyone and sauce by everyone. And here is the call.
Have a happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Receive the blessings and send it out wide to the family. We love you. We honor you. We hold you. And we'll keep amplifying you. Anytime you have a new song, send it to us and let us amplify it. Let us share it with the family. If you're writing a book, do it. Send it with Lady A. Can everyone send Lady A some love. Our launch, our inaugural Africa Week 2020 would not have been possible without this Shiro tuned in from the hospital to manage the tech of the entire week. At stupid o'clock in the morning, wherever it was she was in the world, she tuned in and she logged on like the diva, like the star, like the queen that she is. Thank you all. Yes, yes. And we will end here. Please stay on this page, refresh. We will be coming back with 60 with Alexandra Loves, sending you all the love. Thank you. And here
Bye. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.